Why Shaolin monks broke the rules of Buddhism to become warriors. The unthinkable contradiction. The Buddha taught, "Never shall hatred be met with hatred. Hatred is conquered by non-hatred alone." This is the sacred law, the foundation of 1,000 years of spiritual seeking. They were supposed to be peaceful, silent, detached from all violence. Yet, deep in the mountains of China, at the birthplace of Zen Buddhism, a group of monks trained to break bones, deflect arrows, and fight entire armies. If the ultimate vow of a Buddhist monk is ahimsa, non-violence, then how could the Shaolin masters justify holding a staff or a sword instead of a prayer bead? This is not just a story about ancient martial arts. It's about rebellion, survival, and the profound paradox of seeking peace through strength. We must travel back 1,500 years to witness the moment these guardians of compassion broke the rules of their faith to save it. Stay with me, because the answer to the warrior paradox will challenge everything you thought you knew about enlightenment. Before we go further, remember this: each video is a seed. Subscribe and ring the bell to let wisdom bloom in your life. Chapter 1. A Sanctuary in a Splintered World. The story begins in 496 CE, during the tumultuous era of the Northern Wei dynasty. An Indian monk named Batuo arrived, carrying the Dharma to a fractured China. With imperial support, a sign of the dynasty's fascination with foreign Buddhism, he founded a monastery on Mount Shaoxi, Shaolin, meaning young forest. It was meant to be a sanctuary for meditation and spiritual growth. But the world outside the temple walls was chaos. China was splintered. Warlords and bandits roamed freely, and the monastery, often near major transport routes, became a tempting target. The monks, exhausted by meditation, were physically weak and unable to protect the wealth of their sanctuary or the lives of the local villagers. This vulnerability set the stage for a legend, Bodhidharma. He arrived from India, seeing monks whose bodies were failing them. He retreated to a nearby cave for 9 years of profound meditation. When he emerged, his message was revolutionary. True enlightenment didn't come only from scripture, but from direct experience and the discipline of both mind and body. He didn't teach fighting. He taught exercises, the precursors to Kung Fu, to cultivate Qi, the life force energy. These initial movements were about spiritual stamina, designed to keep a monk healthy and focused during long meditation sessions. But the seed of the warrior had been planted. Chapter 2. The Birth of the Warrior Paradox. Buddhism mandates nonviolence. Yet the monks were forced to ask the most challenging ethical question: what happens when peace is threatened by evil? If a monk has the ability to prevent immense suffering, Karuna compassion, is inaction not a form of complicity? Should a monk allow innocent lives to be taken in the name of pacifism? Their answer was found in a radical, pragmatic interpretation of the Dharma. Martial arts as protection, not aggression. The monks began training in self-defense, a unique blend of Indian yoga's physical asanas and breathing with the practical, open-hand striking techniques of Chinese combat. The movements were often modeled after animals: the tiger, the crane, the monkey, making them look like health exercises when, in fact, they were highly effective fighting forms. This fusion gave birth to the 72 arts of Shaolin. Take iron palm technique. This is not magic. It is years of grueling, painful dedication, hardening the hand through striking sand, beans, and finally iron shavings. It's a testament to commitment. Or the light body technique. This incredible mastery of balance and agility allows the monks to scale walls. It is a physical manifestation of a focused mind controlling the body's ki. They were no longer just fighting for their own survival. They were fighting for the right to exist as monks and preserve the Dharma itself. Chapter 3. The Battles that Forged a Legend. Focus on a specific, high-stakes military event that gave the monks sanction. The legend of the warrior monk was solidified in the year 621 CE, China was at war, and the future Tang dynasty leader, Li Shimin, was captured or endangered by a rival warlord. 13 Shaolin monks, skilled not in swords but in the Shaolin staff, entered the fray. They fought with such ferocity and strategic brilliance that they were instrumental in securing Li Shimin's victory. When he ascended the throne as Emperor Taizong, he richly rewarded the temple. He granted them 2 historic rights: the right to maintain a permanent monk army for defense, and controversially, the right to consume meat and alcohol, a temporary breaking of the most sacred Buddhist vows. This was the royal sanction. The Shaolin monk was now officially a warrior. Centuries later, the temple became a symbol of resistance. During the Ming and Qing dynasties, the temple was burned twice by rulers who feared the monks' growing influence and their martial prowess. Legends say only a handful escaped, becoming folk heroes and carrying their teachings across China. These monks were the seeds that spread their martial arts, the philosophical approach to combat that eventually influenced everything from Wing Chun to modern Kung Fu. They were no longer just monks. They were symbols of resistance. Chapter 4. The philosophy behind the fist. What separated the Shaolin fighter from a common mercenary was the philosophy that guided the punch. Shaolin martial arts were never about domination. They were about balance. Every move was paired with breath. Every kick with clear, ethical intention. The monks followed the 10 precepts of Shaolin. They maintained the standard vows: no killing, no stealing, no lying. But they added a critical new precept: no cowardice. This reframed their existence. The warrior monk was not violating no killing. He was upholding a higher moral imperative, the duty to protect the Dharma and the innocent, a manifestation of supreme compassion. They believed that true strength came from inner stillness. The most effective fighter is not the strongest, but the one who is the most mentally calm. Their training was Zen in motion. The slow, low stances of their practice were designed to cultivate inner stillness first, making the mind the ultimate weapon. To be a Shaolin monk was to walk the razor's edge between peace and power. This paradox is what makes their story timeless. It's not about choosing violence. It's about choosing responsibility. Chapter 5. Lessons for the modern warrior. The payoff. Connecting ancient wisdom to the modern viewer. Today, the Shaolin Temple is a global icon. Tourists visit to watch monks break bricks and meditate for hours. But the real legacy isn't physical, it's philosophical. In a world full of distractions, the Shaolin path teaches discipline. In a society obsessed with comfort, it teaches resilience. And in times of conflict, whether mental, emotional, or physical, it reminds us that peace sometimes requires strength. The monks of Shaolin didn't wait for peace to arrive. They trained for it. They knew that the fiercest battle is always fought within the mind. If this story moved you, please subscribe to Monk Mode Motivation and hit the notification bell for more videos like this. Every week, we dive into ancient wisdom for modern warriors. Because sometimes, the path to peace starts with a punch. The question for you, the modern warrior, is this: what's your biggest battle right now? The mental roadblock, the emotional challenge, the physical goal, and how will you start training for it today? Leave a comment below. Until next time, walk in peace.